And liftoff of Starliner and Atlas V, carrying two American heroes, drawing a line to the stars.
That was NASA launching Boeing Starliner 2 months ago after years of delays. The two-person crew was supposed to be in space for just 1 week. But the two astronauts are still there aboard the International Space Station. And now NASA is saying they might not be able to come home until February of 2025. Yeah. Mark Strassman has more on the problems with Boeing Starliner.
Astronauts Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams were supposed to spend 8 days at the International Space Station. NASA now says they could spend 8 months.
Our chances of an uncrewed Starliner return have increased a little bit based on where things have gone over the last week or two.
Starliner has two unresolved issues: helium leaks and worries about small maneuvering engines that failed on the flight to the ISS. NASA's key concern: how that propulsion system will perform during critical phases of flight like undocking and the braking burn on the return to Earth. The small engines need to fire hundreds of times to keep the spacecraft in the precise orientation for safe re-entry and on-target touchdown. Boeing believes Starliner would bring the astronauts home safely.
I'm very confident we have a good vehicle to bring the crew back with.
But within NASA, there's disagreement.
They're worried that we don't know for sure, so they estimate the risk higher, and they would recommend that we avoid coming home because we have another option.
That option? The next SpaceX mission to the ISS could launch with a crew of 2 instead of 4, leaving 2 empty seats for Wilmore and Williams to return next February. We asked NASA astronaut Nick Hague about the possibility of giving up his seat.
Ultimately, those are my colleagues up there, and there's nothing I want to see more than for them to come home safely.
Even if it means that your next trip to space gets delayed.
Absolutely.
NASA could make a decision critical to Starliner's future by late next week. For CBS Mornings, Mark Strassman in Atlanta.
I mean, the contingency plan includes having enough supplies aboard that craft so that they can sustain until, because we're talking about next year.
Yeah, and the amount of
it-
patience you have to have.
But guys, it still has to be very disconcerting. You're going for 8 days, and they're
Yep.
saying that Houston, we have a problem, and you can't leave right now. That's very, very frightening.
Yeah, for sure.
But you know they're not going to take any chances. I get that.
That's the key. Right? They're
It's
not
still-
taking chances because they want to make sure they have everything hammered out before they bring them home.
I love that all the pictures are them smiling. It's fine up here. Everything's fine.